Hello and welcome to Bleeding Tree Gaming. My name's Amy, aka Warpfiend, and I'm joined by...
Hello, I'm Tammy, aka Autumn Witch.
Hello, I'm Luke, aka Samime.
And today we are talking about all of the reveals that came out on the latest 40k and Heresy preview.
Yes, we are.
And it's totally the first time we recorded this, and I didn't forget to hit record at all.
Well, I think that just makes this video unique because all over the internet you got commentators giving their first reactions to this. We are giving our second reactions to this.
Yes.
Our genuine, unfiltered second reaction.
The curtain has been pulled back. They know everything now.
Oh dear. So, apart from that, let's get into it then, because first up we had this one, and the Cannoness with Jump Pack.
Yeah.
In terms of sisters models, I think it's really good.
It is.
I think it's really cool, and obviously it's customizable.
Yeah, I mean, that's the option I would be going for, the big chainsaw. No matter what else is in the kit, that's the option that has to be gone for. Even if it doesn't work well in the game, you need that great big chainsaw.
I know. I just love, like, the handle halfway up where she's carrying it for safety, like, safety first with these things.
Yeah, and I prefer that head as well. She looks a bit like Maxine Peak.
That is fair, yes. I hadn't actually noticed that.
I kind of wish they'd redo all of the Zephyrim and Seraphim now to actually have like little, base scenery on them as opposed to the clear plastic.
Yeah, it is good. I do. Like anything other than flying stands, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's customizable, and I think we were saying yesterday when we first recorded this that it's really good. Like, GW tend to put a load of like weird characters that have a very specific role, and like they're kind of like the kind of guy with the 3D map from the Genestealer cults and stuff like that. Whereas I think what people want is like the leader character with a jump pack, or the leader character on a bike. Like,
yeah,
it is cool when they do just like, your basic hero with different things.
You want your leader to basically keep up with everything in the army.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
I mean, how long were people clamoring for Primaris Marines with jump packs? It took 6 years to get them.
Yeah, I do like the idea of like a functional character that just buffs certain things, and you use it to like buff certain units in your army or whatever. There's also the factor you've got to consider of like people want to build like all biker lists or all like flying lists and stuff like that. Give them the tools to do that, and this is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, we'll see more compatible characters for other units, like the Sacrosancts, for example. It would be cool to have a character in that armor. I mean, we've got Morgan Val in that armor, but it would be nice to just have the option for a Cannoness.
Yeah, that would be great.
Or a Palatine, maybe, or a Palatine.
Yeah, so I mean, on top of this, we also had the Battle Force that this new Cannoness is coming out in, and it's a cool one. I think you two were saying that you weren't really interested in it because of having this stuff, or...
That is that thing, given an extra 24 hours to consider.
I mean, I would be tempted if I didn't already have about 2,000 points unpainted, sitting about waiting to get round to. But yeah, I mean, I would be tempted by it. I think, if I didn't have that many, sisters to crack on with, this might be a good place to start. But like I say, I've got so much stuff already, and I just, it's fine. It's fine. It looks good. It's probably going to cost about £140, which
Yeah.
When you look at the kits, I mean, the Cannoness is going to be 25 on her own. The
3
Zephyrim
boxes of
/
the flying ones.
So
yeah,
probably like 90 quid's worth of them at least on there.
Mhm.
they're normally about 35 for a
Yeah.
box of 5, so yeah, about 90 to 100 quid, and then 50 quid's worth of. So you're looking at about 175 pounds worth of stuff
Yeah,
if it comes
it's
out
a
at
little bit of a
around
saving. It's not a
140.
huge discount like some
Yeah.
things have been.
Yeah.
And like you were saying yesterday, I've already got 3 Exorcists, but I'd probably get it. I've only got 10 Seraphim and 10 Zephyrim, so getting that and the Cannoness with jump pack would be quite nice, and then just sell the Exorcist on to someone else.
Yeah. It does make me think that the sisters need like a large flyer, because I think that would be more appropriate. Like the Exorcist is obviously really cool, but if you've got an all flying force, it would make sense to have like a flyer
like
for them.
a sisters drop ship, or like sisters drop pods, which are basically like little cathedrals in themselves. When they open up, there's like an altar in the middle.
Yeah, there's so much room for just kind of craziness, just like riffing on like Catholicism and stuff like that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What's the name now? The one in the pulpit. It's completely left my head, but
Genestealers.
version of that.
Yeah, June.
I've got her waiting to be painted as well. I'm quite looking forward to it, but I've got so much more to paint before I get around to her.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the Battle Force that's coming out. There's also the Codex here. And
the artwork quality of the artwork has taken a tiny sort of step back since the previous one.
9th cover, I really like the 9th cover. It was a really nice dynamic picture.
Yeah, I think very much like the last editions were just some really just beautiful artwork. This is also beautiful artwork, but there's something about the way it's structured that makes it look like, oh, this is like an inset page of it rather than like the front cover where you want something just like kind of beautiful and artistic. This is it's just like this filter on the background here that I'm just like, why have they done that?
Like the last one was just like full on rage and fury and faith of just like I think it was a sacrosanct now actually. I remember seeing the shield on it off the top of my head. I could be completely wrong, but she's just like there, spear in hand, like charging at something, screaming ahead of her.
Also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've seen this artwork before.
Yeah, this was like the 8th edition cover. I think,
okay, so it's an edited version of that then, basically.
Yeah.
So there's a new combat patrol, and I think we had a lot of thoughts about this one.
It's individually the kits in here are better than the ones that are in the current set, because these are like the multi-part ones. But the current set is the Sisters relaunch box plus a Sisters Rhino, and you just get so much more variety in that.
That was such good value.
It was. I mean, I suppose it still is, because it's still the current combat patrol, and until this one is released. So, you know, if you want it, get it quick.
It must be being quite hard to balance. Like I've heard the 40k combat patrol game is a lot less balanced than the Spearhead one is from what I've played. But you can see like the force in the previous one might have been harder for them to balance where they're trying to keep it down here. But at the end of the day, people want more models for cheap.
I do know a friend that did actually want to start Sisters, and he got the current combat patrol box, and he was so disappointed that everything was just like the kind of mono like options and everything in there when he got it.
I mean,
but then you get lots.
But then those are unique sculpts for that set, whereas with these, these are different to those. You get, and these are sort of multi-part, but they are pretty much just monoposed. You can swap out the heads and the weapons, but they're pretty much monoposed anyway. So I think it looks better if you've got like, say, a couple of squads of the multi-part ones, and you've got the ones from the current combat patrol, because it adds some variety across the army.
It does make me wonder what's going to happen to that starter set now, because I'd hate very much for it to just like completely vanish, because it's a very cool.
They'll bung the sprues out with like one of the magazines or something.
It was in the magazine previously. I have actually got it from the Imperium magazine, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the new one. Mixed feelings, definitely not as good value, but they're all
still like, you're getting about like a £25 Cannoness. The Battle Sisters are what, like 35.
Yeah, and the Sacrosancts are the same, and I believe the Archoflagellants are about the same as well. So
still, it just doesn't strike you the same way as the other box does. I feel for like models for value.
No centerpiece, no big model there. Yeah.
I mean, but the thing is, when you look at it, you've got like the three, like 35 quid kit options. You've got the Sacrosancts, the Archoflagellants, and the Battle Sister squad. And then you've got the all that's missing cost-wise from the Battle Force is the Exorcist.
Yes.
When you're looking at actual cost, you know, compared to.
Oh yeah.
Someone's popular.
Is that the ice cream van going past 9? You can hear it. Hold on, I need to go for a second. I'll be back. Yes, so that's the Sisters. Yeah, great new model. Everything else, positives and negatives, I guess. Let's move on to Genestealer cults. And it's the Brain Boy.
It's the big brain boy.
He is just looking like some kind of like Megamind there, doing his brainy thing. It's a really cool model. I do like how just weird and out there they've gone with it.
Yeah.
I think we were saying yesterday that you know, it's cool to see Genestealer cults. Now they've got like established stuff that they can really kind of experiment with, just like how grotesque and messed up these things can be.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely see echoes of some of the Necromunda stuff in this. They put out a similar character for that fairly recently.
That's like the second I saw him, I was just thinking of that Psycho.
Yes, and there's a bit of kind of feedback going on between like Genestealer cults in 40k and Necromunda, as we'll move on to later. But yeah, really cool model, really like this one. And obviously Genestealer cults have also got their codexes and their boxes.
Yep.
Again, codex, why this filter on the cover? Just give us the beautiful image.
Maybe it's them saying, "Oh well, the full piece is inside, but you don't even get to look at it unless you pay for the codex."
Full on seal.
There is a paywall for the cover art.
Oh dear God! Don't mention it, because that will happen now. Oh dear. So the battle force that Genestealers get the new character in is the Biosantic Brood Surge. And we had some noticing about here. Like, if you look at this image, that looks great. That's a fantastic battle force, sorry. I'm jumping all over the place there.
So they haven't done any little changes since yesterday and actually included any notes on there, have they?
No. It says you only get one Goliath rock grinder in the description underneath.
I mean, technically, only one of those in the picture is built as a Goliath rock grinder. So, I mean, I think that the image itself is probably more reliable than the copy that's been written for it.
It does seem a lot to have 2 of the same vehicle kit, but like it's cool. I love that, but when you think from the GW like kind of management point of view, like, oh, don't give them too much.
Again, though, this one's already kind of like looking a bit more than the sisters one at even the first glance at it. Like you've got the new character, you've got the Abominant, so that's 2 like 25-poundish characters in there straight off the bat.
Yep.
Then you've got like 3 different kind of 35-poundish infantry kits.
Yep, which was basically all of the sisters' armies, 3 infantry units and a character. So yeah, you also get on top of that the other character and the 1/2 vehicles. I think that's a lot better value.
If that is 2, then that is an amazing box.
Yeah.
If it's 1, why display 2 images on there?
If it's 2, I'm very tempted to pick that up, and I really hope GW can clear this up at some point soon, because I'm really tempted to start a Genestealer Cults army.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be cleared up as soon as they, release it, because then everyone will know.
Yes,
so,
people will know, but
since the 10 copies go out worldwide.
Yes, if anyone can actually get any, hopefully I'll be able to go along to Warhammer World and pick one up. But good luck getting one online. So there's also the Combat Patrol.
I was going to say that some of the battle forces are still available. I think Element has got the Imperial Guard one still in stock.
Yeah, they do tend to sell out straight away, and then if you look,
keep
an eye out, they eventually reappear.
I mean, they've still got Leviathan on the shelves in there, so you know.
On Saturday, the amount of people I just saw walking around having just bought the Battle Force boxes was crazy. It was.
Yeah, so the Combat Patrol is also really tempting to me as well. And I will state that this is much less stuff than you had in the previous Combat Patrol.
Yeah. However, the previous Combat Patrol, it's pretty much what's in the new Battle Force thing.
Fairly much,
but with extra stuff on top of it. So it's still a good deal. I mean, when we did the the reviews on all the Combat Patrols, it was Sisters and Genestealer Cults that we ranked as the best for value. So we're kind of, I mean, maybe they're at a bit of a disadvantage because these kits will be good value, but not as good value as the previous ones. So that's why we're a little bit,
Yeah. But, I mean, personally, for me, this just appeals to, I know the last one was a good one, and I was very tempted by it, but I was a bit disappointed because I wanted to build an army around the, kind of fast mobility, the kind of post-apocalyptic riders, that kind of thing. And this box is just perfect for that. You've got the Jackal Bikers, you've got the quad thing, and you've got the more mobile, ATV vehicle, which is cool. And then you have some of, obviously, the, are they not aberrants, are they? I'm looking at the wrong one. The hybrid metamorphs, that's it. Yes. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good value box. Obviously, it's not as good value as the last one. This is the way of things. Things get less good value over time, especially with GW.
I mean, if they put as much thought into the Space Marine Combat Patrols as they did into these, I would be happy.
Yes,
but they don't, so I'm not.
So Genestealer Cults, I'm way on board for, and there's a certain something else coming up that I'll look forward to talking about. So, Horus Heresy, Mechanicum.
Yep.
Lovely. All of
nice
this stuff
to see
has come to plastic.
Another big, expensive Forge World model get the plastic treatment.
Yep. So we'll go through everything here, and it starts off with the like the Thalax, which are technically like kind of, from what I know, they're like cyborg things. I don't really know the lore to them, but yeah, these are really cool. They were originally in Forge World resin, so nice enough, but a bit generic. And I think they've kind of like had a chance to iterate on that, like bringing them to plastic and tidy them up a bit. And yeah, I think these guys look really cool. You also have the servitor ones. I believe these are tech thralls, they're called. I love these. They're such good like basic troops, because they are basically just like walking corpses, and they've done a whole lot to kind of emphasize that in these ones over the past resin ones, like the way they're shambling around and like missing limbs and stuff. Yeah. Very nice infantry models. And I'm sure they'd be good for a Dark Mechanicus 40k conversion.
I mean, they probably had that in mind whilst they were making them. They know that even if, like a big Dark Mechanicum release isn't going to be profitable, just put little design hints in that nod to it, and it'll keep those clamoring for it quiet.
Yep. So, moving on, we have the Triaros. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I've always seen this model in Forge World and thought that just looks insane, but it was just way too expensive previously to want to buy, but it's so cool. I love the design. It's very like, it's almost like an Art Deco feel. With the big swooping front.
Yeah, it's very diesel punk.
Yes. I'm sure if you didn't put the two side bits on, you could make a really cool like train.
Yeah.
Then we also have some of the automatons. There's the Castellax Automator, and I believe the other ones are the Thanatars.
Yeah, and these look fantastic. I mean, the 40k range looks good, but these are something else.
Yeah, and I believe I painted the resin one of these. I can't remember now. I believe it was the Thanatar, but very long time ago now. It's just lovely seeing them updated. There were some definite problems with the older resin, like beautiful sculpts as they were, but some of the problems inheriting resin. And listening to the stream, they had a nice little touch about like how they originally wanted the gun to open up, but they just like couldn't put enough resin pieces in there it would just make the kit too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic.
Yep. There's also the new Archmagos.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking of grabbing this guy to be the tech priest in my Imperial Guard army.
Yeah, he'd go so good there. It's just like a really cool design. And again, in the stream, they were talking about how they tried to move away from like separate it from the 40k Adeptus Mechanicus with like different shapes and different weapons and that. And yeah, it's just absolutely lovely. I love the big kind of like, what do we decide on the pronunciation of that word? Shaka. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, there's definitely a very sort of Vostroyan Imperial Russian type vibe there.
Very much.
And since my Imperial Guard are Valhallans, I think it will fit in really nicely with those.
Yep. I think a lot of people have kind of rightly harped on that. It's annoying that Games Workshop are pursuing this policy currently of trying to keep all the IPs separate, because all of this stuff should really get rules in 40k. It's such a shame that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they don't, because they would just sell more.
Exactly. The amount of people who would buy this who just play 40k and would just use it in their Mechanicus there.
Like, the way they're chopping and choosing which ones as well, because they brought out those knights like last year, and it was like, oh, here's 40k rules for them, here's Chaos Space Marine rules for them as well. And the amount of people I know that went out and bought those knights after it that played 40k and not Heresy.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, just although, as we have said, like, the more units get added, the harder it is on the game designers to balance the game, obviously. But even just putting out like something like a Legends rule set for all the Forge World stuff every edition, just so they can be played in all games apart from like tournaments. That would be great. Just any opportunity, like, let people play with their toys.
Yes, they're gonna make more money from it. It's oh
dear. Well, moving on then. Also from Heresy, we have the Devastation of Talon.
Yes,
the Legions Imperialis.
Yeah, the epic scale version of the Heresy.
Yep, and as someone who's had like really enjoyed the Talon Desert Raiders back in the 90s, it's interesting to see this period revisited. Maybe we might get more Desert Raiders for the Guards soon.
That would be wonderful. Although I was kind of trying to weigh up: do I go Valhallans or do I go Talon? And I went Valhallans.
That's fair, yeah. Oh, well, if you've gone with them, I might go with Talons then if I ever get Imperial Guard. That would be fun. Maybe like a June-themed Desert Raiders thing. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really know much about the Heresy, like the Legions Imperialis, like battle plans and stuff, but there's some lovely pictures of what look like beautiful books. So hopefully if you're actually battling with these things and don't just like ogle the minis for like painting opportunities like I do, I'm sure this probably means something more to you. Ooh, it looks good.
And then we've got the little tanks.
Yep. More gun variants for all the tanks. Like, yes, tiny tanks. Lovely. Good for you if you enjoy that. On to my pick of the night. Oh God. Necromunda Hive Secundus. So it's like a new hive city that the original like Necromunda has been exploring, the Hive Prime or Hive Primus or whatever it is.
The terrible joke we made about it being a city that only plays Primus songs at all hours of the day.
Yeah, you have like Les Claypool twanging away there. Yeah, this looks such a cool set. I'm sold on everything about it. First off, we have the Spire Hunters.
Yeah, the interesting mix of like a Necron-y Drakari vibe going on with the armor.
Yeah. There's a lot of Xenos touches in, like, there's like the little kind of coffin-shaped plate, and it's not a Necron symbol, but that green kind of makes you think of Necrons, and also like it's got a kind of Drakari-like elegance, and I don't know. There's a lot of weird kind of Xenotech obviously used in them, and they also come with the Devil Baby thing, which is what is that thing?
What was it called now?
It's called the Carotid Prime. Carotid, which I'm pretty sure is like
I said yesterday,
the colour that's in carrots.
Pick a pronunciation and say it confidently.
Yes, Caryatid. Yeah. Okay. So those are the Horus Spire Hunters. So those are cool, but I think like everything else in this box is just crazy good. Not saying they aren't at all, but yeah, we have the Vansor, the Vansor tech hunters. These are, and I love this. They're like kind of sci-fi special ops. Yeah, they're like little like kind of predator, like mechadendrite dead dreadlocks. Multiple eyes, kind of looks very Necron again almost. I love this kind of like the GW's used Necron to explore so many other parts of the 40k universe, and like these kind of super high-tech futuristic look is really cool. Really, really awesome.
So that rifle he's got there with the little energy pulsing on the side of it looks amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can see little nods from all of the Xenos races, because those
absolutely
the weapons have got sort of like a Tau vibe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The bodysuits that they're wearing have got like touches of Votan in the armor. And then, you know, you've got the Drakari and the Necron vibes.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to see them go this way artistically, whereas they couldn't really do it in like the main 40k game, because they obviously want to keep the factions all having their own, you know,
absolutely, yeah,
look or individual look. But yeah, but then they get to like jump into like Necromunda with all this like mashup design. I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah. So other than that, on the other side, you have the Malstrain Genestealers, and I love this.
Yeah, they've got that like parasite fungal ant vibe going, like the zombie ant with like the fungal spores like sticking out the back.
So, like the colony on Hive Secundus was like bombed from an orbit or something, and these ones were like genetically engineered as kind of an attempt to like eradicate the Genestealer curse or whatever, but it just ended up turning them into these crazy things. And I absolutely love these models. How they're kind of like just like more bestial and just like kind of crawling along the ground, and then the weird like growths out the back.
I mean, what's scarier than a Genestealer is a zombie Genestealer.
Yeah. And you have these little Tyramites here, the little floating brain things, which are cool. Yeah. They're not enslavers, and they're also, not mites. They're Tyranids, apparently, which I would not have picked up on. Yeah, so those are great, but they also have Brood Scum, which is like the Hive Scum kit. It's just like your generic basic.
Yeah,
but with a new kit for Genestealer Cults upgrade. I will notice some of these haven't got the ridges on their head. Those must be like the early ones. They look kind of messed up. Like that one looks like a Buffy vampire or something.
Yeah.
These ones look a bit more kind of like traditional Genestealery. I just love this. Any new kind of upgrades for Genestealer Cults always cool. People always love being able to convert more stuff, more fodder for your main cult. What's not to love?
Yeah, I mean, and the options here are quite expansive, because you can build chaos cultists out of these. You could build, you could like really add to the ranks in your Genestealer cults army. You know, I mean, you could even like update your like Imperial Guard and Brood Brotherify them with this kit.
Because also there's another new upgrade kit for Genestealer Cults coming out with Kill Team with the Brood Brothers.
Oh, and you'd mentioned yesterday as well from the Genestealer Cult new codex that something like you could take 50% guard.
Yes, you can now take up to 50% from the Imperial Guard codex, which is just like they were saying on the stream. Obviously, it's designed to like give you a lot more kind of customizability to play those like proper Genestealer cults taken over like an Imperial Guard regiment or a planetary defense force or something.
I think some Kit Bash Sentinels would go really nicely with like the fast attack. I think that would be really cool. And then you can get like some like proper ranged stuff in there as well, because Genestealer cults are not a very long ranged army. So if you can get stuff in there that's got a bit more poke to it, there's a lot of artillery now available for the Astra Militarum, so that's now available for the Genestealer cults.
I am so tempted to start a Genestealer cults army. Things are looking real good for them right now, I will say. Yeah. Between this and the 40k stuff, it's going to be really difficult for me to avoid starting this army that I've wanted to do for years. So also with Necromunda, there's it says just like you get bulkhead sprue with barricades and doors as well. So that's can scroll up. Oh, that's just these basic ones. I think that have been in a couple of games now. So not great in scenery, which is a shame because you always like to see Necromunda come with the scenery, but they've done some really good add-ons if you're willing to pay through the nose for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should just give us like an updated version of the old style card and bulkhead that sort of slot into each other. I mean, they're putting out plastic bulkheads and like terrain tiles and stuff anyway. Just let us break it up and slot it into the bulkheads and
that is literally all they need to do. They could print some nice card things now. Everyone liked the customizability of just being able to make these like crazy towers just out of nothing. I think GW is vastly overlooking the potential of cardboard scenery.
Yeah, however, they would probably still charge the same amount as plastic scenery. Because they don't understand the concept of cheaper.
No.
Lower prices?
They like money.
Well, that's been all for the 40k preview. Stick around. Stay tuned to the channel because coming up we've got a video where me and Luke are going to talk about our time playing Spearhead, the new version of Age of Sigmar, the main rules as well. And I get to see all those beautiful models.
And I get to go back into the dungeon to make a hobby video.
I've also got some Skaven hobby videos coming soon. Hopefully get a chance to get those done in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing a terrain one. That's my next one. I'm gonna take some Imperial ruins and just make them integrate better into scenery.
Sounds good. If you liked any of these in particular, you think we were wrong about anything?
Oh, I'm sure someone will think we're wrong. It's the internet.
Yes. Just please let us know, and we will be sure to
ignore you.
Yeah. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.